Hello everybody, I'm Henry Lee. Today I would like to show the process of carving a artist studio seal for Caroline in France. Um, this is I don't remember how many seals done for her, but she's a returning kind from Europe. She does beautiful spiritual expressionistic paintings. Uh, I think I have this website, so I will post it in the video description so you can take a look. Wait, let me just put on top of this. So I just added the link to the site. And I will also put here in the chat. And you can see her beautiful work. Okay, this seal is an oval-shaped seal based on the shape of this beautiful stone. I have done several designs. The same design I rendered in negative carving or positive carving, and she picked the positive carving. I think this really convey uh, the meaning of this phrase, immediate light of rainbow. Okay, I also got some other uh, different styles. These are all seal script. Some are like this one is more pictographic or large seal script, or ancient, more older style. Some more square-like. But this particular stone is suitable for the large seal script or bronze seal script. This one is more square-like, especially this middle one. And I made the adjustment to suit the shape of the round top and bottom. You know, according to the rules, you can switch some compound words into top and bottom instead of right and left, still be readable. So you have to understand the rules of the linguistics or Chinese writing system. This is the positive of this one. Actually, I did this one first. Um, yeah, they are all good for me. So it's also personal preference to suit your painting style. So this one is a little bit it's ancient, but it's um, you know the size of the sculptures are not the same, so it's more integral part of the design. I really like this one myself. So let me do the transfer. I have many questions from audience last time about this procedure. Um, One thing I found later with the help of Grady, Grady did a experiment. He's a science teacher. He did the experiment on laser jet printer with both black and red ink. It not only not work on on with acetone, it didn't work at all. Another one I think he did with the Sharpies, just a regular marker. It just make smudge image, not transferable. So only the tonal printer, the laser jet or laser Xerox machine, uh, work with this transfer. Uh, it's not my invention. You know, I learned from various sources. The Kinko's worker and my daughter from her print making class in college. It's not a secret, so I share this with you. use nail polish remover. It's called acetone, pure acetone. Um, this, I think the key is this laser jet printout. It has to be laser jet, not ink, not inkjet. Okay, it, it won't work because this is bound by electronically, not by the whatever the binding is with a laser jet. Um, I, I thank Grady for telling me all this scientific experiment result. Very informative. I was very curious why. I did try it before myself. I know it's not going to work with other printer other than LaserJet or laser copier, but I just didn't know the reason. So let me start carving by fixing this on a clamp because it's easier to focus. I always use this tool. We have simpler ones like just the wood, just the top part, like made of wood, not the wheel. Let's see, I think maybe this way. This is another challenge here. The round overshoot. Oops. I think it's maybe easier to go this way, the white side. I think I will put some felt. This might help to hold it anti-slippery. Okay, got it, I think. I like this accidental chip there. I think. So normally I will keep the edge either thinner or thicker than the character, but in this case they're quite close. I think it might be okay. Just this design. So when we do this kind of positive carving, the easiest way to go is to cut the middle of the empty space, and then we go from there as a guide trench kind of. So I just cut right in the middle of open space on the floor. I just cut that, so we divide that into big shapes. Just make sure I don't touch the stroke. Doesn't matter where I. So this will give me supporting line. So that's the deepest part. That's the deepest part. We will cut right in the middle of this space. Maybe just out there. And that will. I'll just cut that. Okay, I just don't know what I'm doing. So you don't have to follow my steps. Just to give you the general idea of what I'm doing. So this is a big open floor, so we'll have to do lots of scooping. So I just cut along the edge, and then along the stroke. Maybe just, to isolate the stroke from background. A little bit blocking in. It's just like going big continent and then islands. You know, that like a painting. You always do that. Just isolate the strokes with this. So cut in between two strokes. That's what I try to do. Try not to touch the line. So we get closer and closer later to the line. This one has some chipping, so in case I will try to make it look worn or antique later. I have a design here. This is a mirrored image. Okay. So just some guidelines, some change, some separation lines. Everybody has their own approach, and I'm also learning still how to do this. This particular style is called iron fine line, maybe fine line or iron line, just like wire line, but not exactly same width. Still some calligraphy going on there. So basically, I just cut around the stroke, not touch the stroke yet. That's the idea. So I just cut around the stroke, and then you get closer to the stroke by broadening that line. Okay. Try to make this process practical for everybody to follow, not just taking the risk. You do have to take a risk sometimes. There is a risk in art always. That's why I show this process. If something happens, I can explain to the client, this is the best I can do. Even though I have this design in mind, I may still have to deal with accidents or something like that. Chipping, or sand in the stone or something. It's all part of the process. So we'll just kind of separate the strokes with a cut in between the strokes. Here I don't have much space to play with, so I just go directly. You have to use your mind, eye, not. You have to trust your hand, in other words. Your feet, your intuition, not just your eye. Sometimes I don't even see what, but just have to trust your inner eye, your mind, eye. cut around design. Just it might look very indirect, but it's safer to do this way. Rather than touch the line immediately, and then you break it, and then you have to redo it. So I try not to touch the line, the design, from beginning to the end to save it. That's the idea. That's called positive carving. You leave it, you leave the stroke, cut out the background. It's like a map. I have the avenues now. I just have to broaden those. Get rid of the empty part. Let's go back to the top. This we have very narrow space, so I just do it in one cut. You can see the smooth side along the stroke, rough side along the edge. Well, for some of you may be confused these ways. Yeah, maybe I just concentrate on one area. But sometimes I just find some easy part to do, then the difficult part, instead of focusing on the one area, I start from everywhere. This is like some kind of pot. goes around top. Some ancient boiling water utensil or something like that. Hi, Hans. Thank you. How are you? Google Translate is the spoken language. We use written language. That's the difference. Sometimes you have to consult a native speaker for best translation. This is, so we can simply say it's not a common phrase, but it makes sense. Yeah, just a special name for studio. Just like imagery poem. You just put some random words together. Doesn't really have to make grammar correct. It's like a poetic statement. Just put something you like together, so to speak. Just immediate light of. In English, you have to add off, but in Chinese, immediate light, rainbow. That's it. We don't have to insert the word off. We don't have to make it clear of that, of this. There might be different translation or interpretations even. Doesn't matter. In imagery poem, it's like that. No grammar, just some images. Oh yeah, I when I carve seal, it's completely relax and concentration at the same time. I I don't think anything out there, in the dusty world. Just purifying, very spiritual, satisfying. It's like yeah, it is just like calligraphy practice. You can do the same thing. You don't. It's something physical and spiritual, make you concentrate without realizing concentration. You don't have to make effort to be concentrate. You just you have to do something physical, something spiritual in the meantime. So this is a very good hobby. Good hobby. Yeah, you can do it until 98 years old, like Qi Baishi, great master, painting master, also seal engraving artist. He does seal engraving throughout his life. So there are many artists like Fu Baoshi, another landscape painter, started as a seal engraving artist. His name Baoshi means embracing the stone, which means the seal stone, embracing the stone. So it's just like a high form of art, like music, classical music in Western art. It's very very high level abstract and rhythmic art form. Many people I know like to listen to my carving, but not every stone has that sound. It's very soothing sound. my approach this time is just like the entire process was done. When I did the first rough cut, I separated the strokes. Then everything else is fine tuning. I call it fine tuning. Just little bit by little, get rid of the extra space, getting close to the result, but not doing it directly. You think positive, think think negative about positive, or think negative about positive. You know, that's the idea, the philosophy of Taoism. So think the opposite. Think the positive about negative. Think the positive of negative. I think that makes sense. 既白当黑. Yeah, in Chinese, think black about white. Yeah, think black when I do white, when I get work on white. Always think the opposite. Negative, positive. So tight, there's no space for a needle to insert, and so wide, so broad, that you can allow a horse to run. That's the idea of design. Any art, any visual art, you have to balance sparsity and density. Same idea in painting or calligraphy. Something between square and round is the best shape. Beautiful, most beautiful shape. Organic and dynamic, not rigid. If you have only squares, that's rigid, mechanical. Or we have something in between. We try to hide all the tips and make it look worn or aged, vintage. That is the aesthetics, what we call antiquarianism. In Chinese art, we call antiquarianism. It's like a rubbing of steel or something, or the bronze. The taste of bronze and steel is what we try to pursue. To get like a chipping not single straight line. Everything is organic. Okay, I'm meant to make an imprint. Just make edge little one or chip. It should be thinner. I think it would be should be a little more coarse, rough, not so sweet, so new. I try to make it make the edge look more natural here. Some plain chipping there. And we try to make the two curve not parallel. Just make it more squish or one, thinner or something, not to repeat. Okay, I'm gonna dust off and do a test imprint. You can collect this debris actually in a bottle or something. I see people do that. And then you can fill in the cut space to show the stroke. Create a contrast between white and black. I'll just dust it off. You can rinse it with water actually. Okay. All right. Right, here's the design. Here comes the seal. I don't expect to be so lucky, but I try to get it done as close as possible. Usually the fine tuning would take longer than the carving process if you start to test it too early. If you have experience, you can have it done without much test. But if you're a beginner, just test it, to get experience. All right. I think later I'll mark the side with signature. Now I have to check. Oops, I think I got it wrong. I put the mirror side on top. It should be rubber. It's slippery. So you have to put something soft underneath, because this is not soft like a rubber. So you put rubber pad. We sell that actually if you want. You can put a book or thin, a magazine or thin book. Okay, I got some paper towel. Okay. Okay, I noticed the line, the vertical line is a little slant. I made it to, I can straighten, but I kind of like that. Maybe it's okay to leave it like so. And I like a little bit thicker than original because it gives the more weight. Um, so let me just make the I want to make the border a little thinner. This line is too thick. Okay. That is. So basically, we just broaden the middle, the negative. Okay, so this one could be thinner here. I think it's because it's not chippy, so I have to make it a little bit rough. And you can always make the line thinner, but not thicker, you know. So that's why I don't try not to get it too thin to start with. I can follow your discussion on the stone, the soapstone. Yeah. What's the question? Soapstone. Yeah, soapstone is the material. This one is Qingtian or Shoushan. I'm not sure. Uh, it's kind of soft stone, but it's not too soft. You know, it's harder than you think. It's not soap. Basically, it's stone. You cannot use any like a laser carver to do it because it will explode. So you still have to do it with a chisel kind of tool like this. Um, so I'm debating why should I broaden this? I mean, seeing this part of the stroke. Let me see. I kind of like the weight. It's a little bit more red than the original design. I think it will be okay. This the left is right on this because when you modify, it's very easy to get confused which side is what you're working on. So I'm working on this side, left side, actually here. Oops, I think I don't want to overwork. Let's try it one more time. Okay, I think it has to do with the inking and the stamping. You know, if I press harder and with more ink, it would look like this. If I press less, it will be thinner. I think it's close enough to the original design. I'm going to make a call. Just one little extra spot. Try to identify that. I think maybe it's okay. Just like a dry brush stroke. So it makes it look like calligraphy, not just as decorative art. You know. Let me see. That's it. Yeah, I like. I did a little opening there. That break the two sides, the symmetrical two sides. So that's it. I make a imprint on my collection book. Okay. And here are some of the seals I've done recently. Okay. Blow a little bit moisture from my mouth to reduce the grain. I wish I didn't make it upside down. Oh, I did it. Perfect. Let me sign it first before I go on to make more copies. Normally, the engraving's signature goes on the left side. So this is the left side. This is the left side. I always include the year, not always, sometimes. But this year certainly is a special year, so I want to mark that. The year of a new beginning of the cycle. Rat is one of the first. It marks. Okay. My 60th birth year is last year. So. My signature. Okay. Now let me make more imprint. We've got a tool with some, like a seal paste set. It's called a stirrer. It's usually ox bone, but now it's made of plastic. Doesn't matter. Spatula kind of. You make the dough into a round dome, kind of. And you just drag it to one side. You may raise it a little bit above the surface of the case. This is refilled. I got we sell this also, this seal paste, and then you just tap very gently, not just one big press. Okay, don't never do that. I kind of doing a little rubbing kind of thing, so keep it flat. Not just pour the fabric. It's made of reed flag fabric. Some will go on to the imprint, some, but you don't supposed to dig into it to get a lot of that fiber. Okay, so make sure you have a proper padding under it. Just because my table has felt, it's too soft, so I put a mirror to make it hard, and then the rubber. Now this time I just use regular computer paper, cardstock, like business card. Okay, I press evenly and then shake a little bit, don't move. and hold the paper with your fingers like that before you lift it gently straight up. A little bit leaned to the left. Let me do it again. It's kind of hard to align. We do have a line tool. It's called the L-shaped ruler. It's like a corner. You can use that as a guide to avoid. But this is round. It's a round corner. It's kind of hard. Anyway, so just keep it aligned to the edge, to one edge. So I try not to press too hard this time. Just even. And hold it. No shaking. Just press even. Just make it thin. Okay. That's good. The second one is more ink, with more ink. So I can clean that with tissue, with facial tissue or soft. Don't use coarse paper towel. Use this is a rock cotton paper towel. So use soft tissue. You can clean it with soap and water with an old toothbrush if needed. If you got debris in the stroke, in the stone, you can clean it with soap and toothbrush. Okay, and water. Okay, one more time. Press very hard this time. So each imprint could be different. Yeah, I can see a little difference between each one, but they are good, They are good. Good enough. I'll pick one to take a picture. I think this one, the first one, usually the best for some reason. Okay. I'd like to thank Caroline and friends for your commissioning and support, your patience. It has been a while, and I understand the mail system is returning normal, so we can send it now without afraid of lost. We do ship to any place in the world, but we cannot control, if there's a delay due to the current global pandemic. But we're still working, do our best. Keep safe and well, everybody. Until next time. Bye bye.